Hi guys, I'm Danny, and I started a Sunday gym because I've noticed lately that people tend to go to colleges and universities without actually knowing why they're there. And afterwards, starting jobs that are unfulfilling. So I'm interviewing different professionals to see what they have to say and share their knowledge and experience with you. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I think we're good now. Right on, Kat. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing perfectly well, thank you. And the program will be focused on three main questions. What do you do for a living? How did you get there? And how did you know that this was the way to go? So tell us what you do for a living, please.
So I am the COO and co-founder of a company called Nuspera, where we sell healthy coffees. We sell mushroom coffee, and we also sell a liquid vitamin and a detox tea. And I am also a published author. So I did write a book, How They Are Winning and You Are Not. Why are they winning and you are not? And it is an Amazon bestseller. So go pick it up.
Send me the link. I want to put it in the description below. I should have had you on the show 2.5 years ago when I was still drinking coffee, because now I'm drinking tea.
Well, we can take you back. We can make you come back. You can't ever leave coffee, right?
Although, in no fairness, I was drinking this fake coffee. You know, that not real coffee, but the fake one in plastic, and you put it in hot water, and it smells like soup.
Oh no, ours doesn't smell like soup. It tastes like a nice cup of coffee. I
Yeah.
promise you, you'll be disappointed. So yeah, definitely try ours.
So were you like walking the street one day and you were like, let me be a CFO of all that stuff and write a book and everything, or did something else lead you to that?
Okay, so I started off in corporate. So I was in corporate healthcare where I worked for one of the largest companies on the East Coast, and I ran the two largest departments within that company for 11 years. Before that, I was a healthcare consultant. So I always loved healthcare. That was my thing. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always had that bug. My dad was an entrepreneur, so I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. My husband's an entrepreneur. So it was always around me, but I was like, I can't do that. I'm a risk aversion person. I don't want to take risks sometimes. And so I'm like, I don't want to do that. I like my paycheck. And so, an event happened that forced me to actually go this route. I lost my job in 2022. And, I'd been writing this book for literally 5 years, like literally 5 years, been writing the book, just been sitting on the shelf. I was too busy. I'm a mom. I work, I'm too busy. I don't have
I
time to finish
know.
this, right? I don't have time to do that. So finally, once I left that job, I finished the book within 2 weeks. I had like all these chapters written. I finally just sat down and did it. I finished it in 2 weeks. And so put it out there. It did really well. And then my husband and I decided, we saw this other coffee company in the market that was doing mushroom coffee, and they had 85,000 subscribers every single month. 85,000. And the coffee tasted like dirt. Not knocking anybody else, but it tasted like dirt. And I told my husband, I was like, I can't drink this. I want the benefits of these mushrooms, but I can't drink this. And so we decided to come up with our own thing, and it kind of went from there. We, did a business plan. We went and tried to find investors. That didn't work. Everybody said no. So we said, you know what? We're going to just put it all in and do it ourselves. And so we we financed it ourselves, and we found a partner that could help us with the actual manufacturing. And so here we are. And now I'm COO, he's CEO, and we're both co-founders of that company. It's called Nuspera. I forgot to mention the name earlier. It's called Nuspera. So if you're wondering, it's www.nuspera.com.
And the link for that will be again in the description. Now it's fascinating the whole 11 years in there because you look like you're 25, so you
Thank you.
clearly your husband married well.
Well, thank you.
And
Take care of
I've heard
myself.
that story so many times before, and every time I hear it, it's like I'm hearing it for the first time because it's fascinating. Like when you're out there, and you know, we just as you said, I'm just gonna go all in that.
Uh-huh.
It was a risk. I'm sure it was a risk. You put it mildly. I don't know why you decided to put it that mildly, but I'm pretty sure you put it very mildly. And I know that.
Right, right.
I I do have a career. I work in finance, and I've been working in finance for about 14 years here now. Probably more, but about 14 now. And when I decided to start something on my own, I was so work, and I'm still not all in there
Yeah,
because I'm still working, and after I'm done with my regular job, I'm doing with the real estate business.
yeah.
It's stressful, and I honestly that the first like 5 years, and I started in 2015. I didn't slept a lot the first 5 years at all, but luckily after that COVID hit, so I had nothing but time, so I slept pretty good during COVID.
Right, didn't everybody?
Yeah, not much happened, so it was
Right.
pretty fine. And my third question is about how did you get there? Now you did cover it, but the reason I'm asking is because, and I'm sure you've noticed that too. You're from the States, but we have this problem here in Europe, and from what I know, it's not that different over there as well. And people tend to go to colleges and universities because they have that stigma that once you have the diploma, things are fine, and you're not going to have as much problems otherwise. And in all fairness, that's not true. I don't believe that's true because I've seen it with my own eyes many, many times.
Yep.
But yet, it is still going on.
Yep.
And we end up with young adults because in my book, those are no longer children. We're talking about 24, 5, 6 year old people, young people, but adults.
Yep.
And they are miserable because they have something that it's not for them, and they work a job that it's definitely not for them. Now, when you are single and young, you can be miserable. That's okay, I guess. But as long as you're like on your own, but once you have a significant other, a husband, a wife,
Right.
children, now that kind of being miserable transfers to the home. I
Right.
know, and I've been in corporate for so long. We do say that, when you have some kind of problems, leave it at the door. Yeah, no, you can't leave it at the door. It doesn't work like
Always.
whoever came up with it is a very well-educated person from a university that should be burned to the ground.
Right.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And it is a problem. It is a trouble, really. And
Yeah.
that's why I actually started this whole podcast and everything. And you did cover it. Okay, so you were out of a job. You had this book already. You had the vision for the coffee, and you did have the vision. No, 11 years in corporate. Your husband is backing you up 100%. You could have chosen any number of things to go. And you're a remarkably charming woman. You are sunny, and you could have been successful in many other fields, but you chose that one specifically. And that's a very specific field. So, was it a gut feeling? What was it?
So my husband has been in this space. We do have a network marketing arm or an MLM arm to this company. It is e-commerce, but there is a network marketing arm. So my husband has been in this space for 20 plus years. So that's what he knows.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he knows. And so you always want to find something when you're finding something to do, you always want to find something with a need and where people have a habit. Not a drug dealer, not
Yeah.
nothing like that, but it's tied to a habit. It's tied health into a habit, and we tied people's income to a habit, and we tied our income to a habit. There's over 66% of Americans that drink coffee every morning. I'm not
That's a
recreating.
pretty big market.
That's a pretty big market. It's mushroom coffee is poised to be like a $30 billion industry. And
Yeah.
so why would I recreate or go find some weird niche that nobody knows about and try to struggle to try to market it to people when I already have a market that's rising? You want to follow the trend. My husband says the trend is your friend. You
Yeah.
always want to follow the trend. And so whatever the trend is, you're a finance guy. Whatever the trend is, you want to hop on that trend. And so that's what we did. We decided to get into the space because my husband is a veteran in the MLM space or the e-commerce space. And then, coffee is going to be, it is $1 billion industry, but the mushroom
Yeah.
coffee needs to be $1 billion industry. So why would we want to try anything else? And I'm a coffee drinker, so I love it. I'm an advocate for it. I love it. And then, like I said, I wanted to hop on the mushroom trend. So that's kind of why we went into this space. Yeah. And it's a little less riskier, like I said, than trying to figure out some weird thing that you got to try to sell people. You try to push it on people.
No, especially in that kind of market when you already have this niche and
Yes.
it's doable, risky but doable. I remember that one time when I went to Italy and I ordered tea and I got arrested, but
Got arrested. No, you
honestly,
didn't.
that never happened. Because they love coffee over there.
Coffee. They're
Yeah,
coffee drinkers. I've been to Italy. They are totally coffee drinkers. Yes.
yeah.
And it's back, it's coffee too.
Just for the audience, no, no, you will not get probably arrested very much in Italy if you. But
They'll just look at you funny and probably be like, oh, she's not from here.
No, I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
it really was a very wise decision, and your husband really had his finger on the pulse because
Yes.
that
Yes.
is quite something.
I would
Now,
also say, let me say one more thing. Anytime you're thinking about doing something, always do your research. Figure out what your target audience is, figure out if there's a need, figure out what it's going to cost to take to get into that industry. What's your entry, your barrier to entry. Always do your research. I don't care what you're about to do, because that's going to be your friend, because you don't want to try to figure it out on the back end. Because when you try to figure it out after you've already spent your time, your money, and your energy, oh my gosh, that's disastrous. And that's why, a lot of businesses fail, because they don't do proper due diligence when it comes to, trying to figure out, okay, is this the right niche to go into, or is this the right market to go into? That's what I would say.
you couldn't be more right. Sadly, not only businesses, but countries as well. Now, I don't go political on the program because I don't want to. My
Yeah.
career started in the government sector, and
Mm,
I am no longer physically capable to discuss politics without throwing up. I have had enough.
I think
I
we all hate
served under
politics.
5 government administrations. I
Yeah,
don't have it anymore in me. I'm done.
I get
But
it.
there is this country that is like 3% in Europe and 97% in Asia.
Huh?
And that's exactly what happened. When you have the niche, when you have the big market,
Hmm.
it's easy. It's not a guarantee, but
It's
it's
not.
easier to
It's
get
not.
in there and to start. And
Yep.
that's the opposite of what they did. There was a specific group of people that are not very liked right now because of a certain conflict going on in Eastern Europe. But they had a lot of money, and they still do.
Yeah.
And that specific country decided to throw them out, and they were like, I think maybe 7 or 8 million of them living in that country, and they threw all them out. And they were
Wow.
pretty wealthy people, and they decided that we'll do business with other countries that have a lot of rich people as well from
Hmm.
the Middle East. But that's my point. You need a lot of people with a
Hmm.
lot of money that are
Hmm.
forming a market, and this market is and always will be a living organism.
Yep.
Now, you can hurt it and it can recover it, but if you kill it, you can't reanimate that corpse because those people that were thrown out, those millions and millions of people, they're not gonna look at you like, I'm going over there and give you my money.
Oh
No,
no. Oh
because they
no.
have the
Done.
money already. They're not obligated to give you the money.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
And
done.
and I can guarantee, I started, anyhow, for the record, you have to obviously talking for Turkey, but I've been in Turkey, I don't even know how many times. The first time I went there was when I was 6. And
Wow.
maybe I was there 60, 70 times, I'm not sure. I remember what it was before. It's nothing like that no more. It's very, very different, a very difficult place because the market is very important. And if you centralize it and impose yourself on it, it pushes back. And
Yep.
when you're trying to push back on it, it's not a pretty picture. The
Yep.
perfect market is when you just leave it as it is. People know good and well what they want, and
Yes.
they're willing to pay for it.
Exactly. Exactly. You're 100% right.
And I have a fourth question, and I never put it on the description
Oh,
in the
you
email.
gonna put me on the spot. Uh-oh.
No, no, you're fine. I'm sure you can talk about it for days, but
Okay.
if you can synthesize it, if
Okay.
you have one advice for my audience, people that are wondering if is this job for me, is this thing for me, what I'm studying, is it right for me? If you can give them one advice, what will it be?
I can't just do one.
Take your
Okay.
time.
Let me do like two or three. So
Fine.
number one, most important, I wouldn't quit my day job to go start a business. Never do that. Never walk away from your consistent income to start a business, because it takes time to build that business up, and it takes money. You're going to need money. That's the number one reason why businesses fail, is because they're undercapitalized. And so you always want to make sure you have a source of income that's paying your bills and also funding your side business. So when you get enough money to quit that job, great. Never quit your day job to start to start a business. Never do that. Let me think. Number two was right partnership. If you're going to go into business with somebody, make sure it's the right partnership. Never get into business with your best friend. Never get into business because you guys like each other. Make sure
Yeah.
you have the same kind of values, goals, whatever, because I'm telling you, I've seen it 1,000 times, and we've even had it happen to us. It never goes well. It
No, never.
never goes well. You see why all these, I don't know, you see all the boy bands and the girl bands, they break up. And there's a reason why they break up. It's because it's so hard when you got different personalities trying to have, different visions, and you're trying to manage a company and you all are going in separate directions. So always make sure your partnership is good. And then there was a third one, and I just forgot it. It just popped out of my mind. Ask me a question again, and I'll go back to it. Let me think. There was a good one
The
too.
question was if you can give an advice, but I honestly, this is one of the things that is like applicable everywhere.
Yeah.
I've interviewed people from Hong Kong, from Alaska, from almost everywhere, a lot of episodes. And this is happening everywhere. Don't go into business with your best friend.
Nope.
Just sit on the couch together, smoke a cigar, drink some
Yeah.
local brandy, put something funny on the TV, and
Yes.
have the best time ever.
Yes.
About Star Wars, it's perfect, but never go into business together.
Yep.
I had a plan. I mean, it's still in motion, but I was with my best friend and we talked about it.
Yeah.
And we were discussing it, and he was like, I really like you, but I'm not sure. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know, I understand.
I don't think we can work together.
Because I was wondering how to say it and how to structure it. I was thinking the same thing all the
Yeah.
time. I just didn't
Yeah.
know how to say it. So
Yes.
yeah, it's and I don't know why this is. Maybe because for example, I have this rule and I've always had it. I'm single. I've been like that for a while now. It's awesome.
Yes.
Uh, I never date with women from the workplace. Never.
Oh, you never. There's a language, there's a phrase that we use up here. It's never, I don't want to say the word on here because I don't know if I can cuss, but
No, that's a universal thing. We have it on every.
okay. You don't shit where you sleep, right?
Yeah, it was something else, but yeah,
Something
basically.
similar.
But and, and I had this conversation a few times with a few colleagues of mine,
Yeah.
but we're from different teams. No,
Yeah.
no,
No.
this era of communication, at this point, it just
Mama.
it always backfires unless you're like already married and you have children, and then you're working at some place and
Yes.
the other person goes there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. But
Yes.
you start fooling around like that in a workplace, it's never going to end well.
I don't understand why people still do that today. I guess it's human nature. You got hormones going, you got people, you see somebody that's attractive, but still it just never works out. And then you have everybody in your business, and then it's a toxic environment for both of you guys because 9 times out of 10 you're arguing or fussing, after you break up and you hate each other and you don't want to see each other again. And then all these people know, it's too much. I never did it either. I don't blame you. I
No,
never did
I
it.
mean, I think it's because, we are spending like 8 or 9 hours together at the same place, and
Yes. Yes.
every now and then somebody, mostly me, cracks a joke. So it happens. But no, it's just way too dangerous, and I have to pay loans until 5th of July 2051. So
Yes.
I need a job.
Yes, absolutely. You need a job. 2051. Geez,
Yeah, it's coming.
we might all be dead by
Hey, you speak for yourself. They will never let me go until I'm done with the loan. They will never let me. A
Oh my
bomb could drop
God.
right here. I'll be here. But
Oh my God. That's
I was
crazy.
I was telling this joke. I was with the bank manager. Later on, we became friends. But um, we were at a bar, and I was like, "What are you gonna do if I die before I pay it?"
I'm gonna come get you out of your grave and make you pay it.
Yeah, no, if I got that answer, I'd be happier now. That the guy was very, very creative. He was like, well,
Gosh.
then don't worry about it. I will cremate you and you will work as a sand clock on my desk until your debt is full. I'm like, you dark man. That's way too dark.
Horrible. That is horrible.
Yeah, he was like, I'm just gonna shift you. Yeah, every round hour.
That's so horrible. Oh my gosh. That's about how they do it over here. So don't worry about it. Don't feel bad. I know what the third thing, I remember the third thing now that I was going to say. I was going to say, follow your gut. So
Yeah, not the heart.
yeah, follow your heart. So if you have a passion for something, I think your passion leads you to your purpose. You know, that's what I always say. If you have a passion for something, I think it'll get you to where you have to go. So you may not start off making a whole lot of money, but a lot of times I've seen it where people, you know, they stay with it. They just love doing whatever that thing is. And then it leads them to, you know, money. You know, most of the people that make money or have created something in this world do it because they love it. And then the
Yeah.
money comes, right? You know, you do it because you love it, money comes. So that's what I would say. Follow your passion, whatever your passion is. If you have a hobby that you just love doing, turn it into a business. Turn it into something that you can be profitable at one day.
No, that makes a lot of sense because every single one of us have specific talent and
Uh-huh.
passion for the talent that's already in us. For example, I'm religious, I'm Orthodox Christian, and we believe that we're all born with specific talent and the path
Yep.
was already written.
Yep.
So basically, following this passion for the talent that you already have it in you is basically following the path that was already chosen for you. So you're walking the road made specially for you. Now, if you
Absolutely.
try to deviate from there, you still might succeed, but it's just not the same.
Exactly. And when it goes back to when you were talking about how a lot of people are walking around with jobs that they hate, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing things in life that you just hate. You're forced to go into this career because you're not following your passion. I kind of did that. I think a lot of us did that. You forced to go into this career because you know it's going to be safe and it's going to make you some money. But then when you get my age, you're like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore.
I
But I'm
know.
stuck because I have kids, I have a husband, I have mortgage, I have, you know, car note, house note, this, you know, you got all these bills and you're stuck. So you work this job for 60 years and then you're like, you look up and you're retired and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have did this in life. Or I wish I could have did that. Or I wish I should have did this when I was 20, you know, and it's too late, but well, it's never too late. But at that time, you've already lived the portion of your life. So it's like, damn, I missed out, you know? So it sucks. I think everybody, but we're just not set up for that. Our society in everywhere, I don't care where you are, society in general is just not set up for people to follow their passions. It's set up for people to work a job. That's what it's set up for.
No,
Unfortunately.
and no matter how good of an actor you are, you cannot lie to yourself.
Yes.
You fool everybody, but not yourself. I
Correct.
remember of all my career, 14 plus years so far, there was like 5 months, or in total, that I wasn't in finance. A
Wow.
very dear friend of mine gave me a gift certificate for my birthday, and it was for CCNA, Cisco Hardware Architecture. That sounds pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I passed it because it wasn't difficult. And then I decided to work it. Those were probably the most miserable 5 months of my entire life.
Really?
But it sounds pretty good, that hardware architect. And
Yeah.
I remember, sorry, I remember I was with a friend of mine, and I've told that thing before, at a bar.
Yes.
And he was looking at me and said, we should go to Tony's. And Tony was the guy who owned the bar pretty close to the bar we were at. And I was like, why? I don't like Tony, and Tony really doesn't like me, and really didn't like me. Yeah, but you know, just look how miserable you look right now, and Tony gonna love it. And he probably gonna let me drink for free over there.
Oh
Excellent.
my goodness.
And you're already miserable. You can't get any less, more
More
miserable.
miserable. Exactly. Exactly.
So, so yeah, that's when I decided that this isn't going to fly.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had those jobs too, so I get it. I get it. You're like, oh, I don't even want to go into work today. Oh my God. I get it. Totally get it.
So yeah, just walk the path. It's the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
And with that said, Kat, please send me all the links, the books, the company, the coffee, the tea,
Absolutely.
the socks if you are having some, and send me everything. I can put it in the description below. And when I
Okay.
put the episode, they can be there.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So
Likewise.
good to see you, Denny.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, I hope this one was useful. Please follow the channel on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Gap, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Ring the bell and all the good stuff. Have a nice week ahead, and I'll see you next Sunday.